I welcome once again my select viewers to my 135th video of my YouTube channel, Writer Sandanam Speaks. Writer Sandanam in small letters. This is 11th episode on Thirumoolar. After my happy intervention of my talk on Sri Ramana Maharishi on his birth anniversary, I have the courage to convince myself that though centuries separate these two sages, they in one voice spoke the everlasting common truth. It is like the mango tree of the 13th century as well as the 20th century. Both bear the same sweet fruit despite the time gap of centuries in between. As mentioned by me, each generation needs its son of the soil sage to talk to them directly, convincing them by their living example that sagehood is a human possibility. Before I proceed with the Thirumoolar, I appeal to my viewers to register their comments generously so that I could in turn register my reply, including my future corrections if any. I am not the infallible sage not to commit an error, nor I am always any wiser than the listener. The poem that I have taken up is a unique one with a lot of esoteric and mystical meanings, the hallmark of Thirumoolar. This poem tries to define the indefinable creator, almighty, truth, God, or whatever. As you know, I have in my last episode mentioned that truth is wordless. If it is wordless, then what it is? The poet describes it by telling what it is not, as it is beyond the scope of human thinking and experience to describe it as what it is. In Vedanta, it is termed as not this, coming under the Neti theory. Instead of this is it, this is it. The commentators explain this ultimate goal is not similar to one witnessed on this earth. The nature of human mind always compares one with another, like the similarity between a cat and a tiger, or a rope and the snake. A sage and his attaining sagehood is compared to God in human form, but his actions are anything but human. In the sense, the sage being liberated from the stranglehold of thought, to use U.G. Krishnamurti's phrase, behaves unreasonably within quote. The reputed Sri Lankan author Ananda Kumar Swami in his book Hinduism and Buddhism has this to say on the liberated soul. I read it out, the one sentence. We cannot say what the free man is, but only what he is not. Quotation ends. With this introduction, let me recite the Tamil poem, the subject of our talk today, followed by my English commentary. பூரணியாதது புறம்பொன்றிலாமையில், பேரணியாதது பேச்சொன்றிலாமையில், ஓரணியாதது ஒன்றும் இலாமையில், காரணமின்றியே காட்டும் தகைமைத்தே. This poem needs commentary line by line. Within the brief time, let me try. First sentence. பூரணியாதது புறம்பொன்றி இலாமையின். Translated, it, meaning the ultimate truth. It does not grow outside it, as there is no space outside it, since it is included in it. To explain it simply is All the objects are within the space, but space has no other space excepting its own to expand it. Hence, it doesn't grow for want of space. Second sentence. பேரணியாதது பேச்சொன்று இலாமையின். Meaning, it is nameless as it is silence. I will explain it with my limited intellect. The wordless truth doesn't also speak as it has no knowledge to express it. Words are the offshoot of speech. When the truth is speechless, it is languageless. You name a thing only with a language or a word. Further, language is an invention of human mind. Even the letter Om denoting Brahman is only a sound and not a language. One may ask a pertinent question. You say, sages, the embodiment of truth, speak wisdom with words. How is it? The sage has an answer. Quote, the ultimate truth makes use of my acquired language. Quotation ends. There are also sages who are illiterate and they keep quiet. We call them silent sages or Mauna Guru. Thirumoolar of Kasi, when asked by Sri Ramakrishna in person on this ultimate truth, raised his index finger towards the sky. U.G. Krishnamurti has told me and others in a group, pointing out his chest, quote, there is no speaker here. Whatever I say comes from some other source. Quotation ends. Implying U.G.'s acquired knowledge is made use of by that with a capital T. Third line, ஓரணையாதது ஒன்றுமில்லாமையின் means it is beyond thought or analysis, as it is void without any characteristics. Characteristics belong to thought. One can freely describe it as Buddha's Shunya or Nirvana or land of liberation or moksha of Vedanta. Fourth and final line, காரணமின்றியே காட்டும் தகைமைத்தே. To briefly say in one word, it is causeless, C-A-U-S-E-L-E-S-S. Or again to use the phrase of U.G., it is acausal. As you know, everything in this world, whether movable or immovable, is only an effect. Or to explain further, everything has a cause producing the effect. Cause and effect are both sides of the same coin. If you find a part, you know clay is the cause. Even the clay is part of earth, and the earth is a combination of 4 elements and so on. Even a disease in a man has a cause, and there is no causeless disease. Hence, there is no effect independent of cause. So, cause is in the effect, and the effect is in the cause. When Thirumoolar says the ultimate truth has no cause, it is beyond one's thought process. One may, for argument's sake, then ask, how is it? Sages only know this. The answer is, they are beyond the thought process. They themselves admit that they have no words to describe the ultimate truth, as Sri Ramana Maharishi admitted, saying, truth doesn't admit of explanation. Quotation ends. That is why those who came across this truth is unable to describe it. Thirumoolar is supported by yet another Tamil sage, one Sivavakya, a Siddha, who in his similar esoteric poem says, quote, how could I describe it which doesn't come under the ambit of grammatical definition? Quotation ends. என்னவென்று சொல்லுவேன் இலக்கணம் இல்லாததை in Tamil. The lesson or message one derives from this mystical poem of Thirumoolar is the final goal of human being is to avoid rebirth and its trappings of cause and effect, leading to suffering and sorrow. The sages, including Buddha, are not pessimistic and have shown the way by their example that it is within the reach of human being to attain that goal, provided he has a spirit of inquiry and he is sincere in his effort towards a detachment. In my latest talk on Sri Ramana Maharishi, I quoted Jesus' quotation: "Small is the gate and narrow the road, and only a few find it." Quotation ends. Listeners, why cannot be us that few? Yet another Thirumoolar's poem awaits you, my dear friends, as the 12th episode. Thank you.